let's practice our rhythms. So we have our gift beats instead of gift boxes. We have our different types of notes. You've got a quarter note, gets one beat. You clap once and say one and. If it was in this box, you would say one and. If it was on the second beat, you'd say two and. Depends on where it is. You've got 2/8 notes. They have one stem and one bar line connecting them. Together, they get one beat. If I were to cut them with an imaginary scissors and that fell and kind of looked like a flag hanging down, that would be 1/8 note. One of them alone would get a half of a beat. But together, two of them equal one beat. Remember we talked about the apple, cutting the apple in half, a half and a half make a whole. So that's why two of them together equal one beat. If there was one here on beat 2, like that, you would clap it and say two and. Depends on where it is. If it was here on beat 4, you'd go 4 and, like that. Quarter rest, just like the quarter note, it gets one beat. You hold your hands out, say one and, depending upon where it is. 4/16 notes, you've got 2 bars that go across. The one and is embedded in it, but you have the extra sounds. So you have 4 sounds altogether. So one and a, they're clapped pretty quickly. One and a. If it was in the blue box, you would say one and a, clap 4 times, not more than 4, just 4. If it was here, you'd say 3 and a. Then you have a half note. A half note gets 2 entire beats. Maybe it'll take up these 2 beats. If the half note was drawn here, you would clap it and say 3 and 4 and. You'd hold it over for 2 entire beats. If the half note was here on this, in this blue present, if the half note, you would clap it once and say 1 and 2 and. You would hold it for 2 entire beats, either these 2 or these 2. Half note, 2 beats. Dotted half note, it'll either be these 3 or these 3. So it gets 3 entire beats. If it was written here, the dotted half note, you'd clap it and say 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then there'd have to be another rhythm written here, a different rhythm. If it was written here, the dotted half note, maybe there was a different rhythm written there, maybe 2/8 notes or a quarter note or a rest or something. And then you have your dotted half note here, you'd say 2 and 3 and 4 and. It gets 3 beats. Then you have a whole note. A whole note does not have a stem. It does not have a dot. It's just a head, and that's it. It gets 4 entire beats. So the only place you could draw it would be here. If you drew a whole note here, you just clap once and say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's practice. I'll go first. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and. Okay, what if I drew this rhythm? How would you clap and say, count? How would you clap and count this rhythm? Let's clap it and count it together. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and. Okay, what if we did this? How would you clap and count that rhythm? Clap and count. All right, let's try it together. 2 eighth notes and then a dotted half note. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Very good.